Police launched serious probe into threats being made against the Jamaica Constabulary Force. So far, they have held a teen and his mother in relation to the gangster's threat being issued at the police. Hi again and welcome. This is Link007 TV. Let's talk, and we're about to discuss this on the program. We ask you please remember just to like, share, subscribe to the channel, click that notification bell and click on all so you're always updated with the latest report. We'll be right back after the break with the details. Welcome back and thanks for joining us for the program. This is Link007 TV. Let's talk. So the police are so far reporting that they have held a teen and a mom in relation to the probe of gangster threats being issued at the Jamaica Constabulary Force recently. But before we divulge the details of that, let me just talk a little bit about what we see going on. When it comes on to threats such as these, the police are not going to take it very lightly based on the severity of what is going on in our country in relation to crime and violence. So the police acted swiftly in this case and they have so far arrested this boy in relation to the threats being issued allegedly by the Sparta gang. Now, many people have been speculating whether or not this was an authentic threat being issued at the police. And based on my own assumption of the situation, I can conclude that this was just a basic threat being sent at the police, and this was no really intended target against the Jamaica Constabulary Force, based on the fact that the person that the individual stated in the video was not actually in custody, and the police have no one by that name in custody. But threats such as these, the police will take it very seriously, and you can't go and issue threats like these, especially in a time such as this where the police are becoming more capable with the advancement of technology to track your whereabouts. So I believe that the police utilizes technology in tracking down this individual in order to nab him in the shortest possible time. So let me update you with the latest that we have in relation to this. Then I'll just play the voice note for you as well. But before we get into the details, let me just play the voice note for you to have a more detailed understanding of what I'm talking about. So let's go over to the voice note that made the rounds on social media and triggered an investigation by the Jamaica Constabulary Force.
One. Alright. Ricardo Moses. Why you write this down? Ricardo Moses. Ricardo Moses must be freed from jail within the next 24 hours. Now, mechanic section now. $2 million must be placed down to we when we enter a station there. When we enter Freeport Station, $2 million must be sitting and waiting when we enter.
Okay.
And if you want to know who this come from, tell him it come from Ricardo. Ricardo little brother. Tell him it come from Ricardo little brother from Sparta gang. Because since you don't think so now, bother and you can this and whatnot. Tell him it come from Ricardo little brother from Sparta gang.
So by when that $2 million put on?
You must put on within 24 hours. If you not put on, remember me tell her someone police are going dead. I mean, I mean dead by just shoot. I tell us them about torture and we're going to make a video and we're going to post it up. Don't think we're not up on.
Cut the phone cut off, man.
Huh?
Cut the phone cut off.
Yo, I'm good man, you know. I feel like I don't want dead for you right now.
Alright, so yes or no? $2 million and
yeah.
must be released within 24 hours.
Yes.
Or you can shoot up the station.
Yes, and the $2 million for be there, so. Remember, for the $2 million have to be there, the waiting. If we enter this, so, a problem now if we not see it. No, not joking thing. You're not afraid to get shot in my. No, and I'm not that. They're killing me right now, and I'm not. Winter right now, I'm gonna shoot me down, but remember me telling someone I'm gonna go dead, no cap.
And you said this is from the Sparta gang?
Yeah.
Alright, so.
So that was the voice note that made rounds on social media and triggered an intensive investigation by the Jamaica Constabulary Force. So the police are now reporting that a teenage boy was taken into custody in relation to the threats being made against a Freeport police station in St. James. The 17-year-old and his mother were arrested in Manchester on Saturday, April 10, following an intensive investigation into the threats which were made over a phone on Friday, April 9. The investigation was led by the Counter-Terrorism and Organized Crime Investigation Branch in the Jamaica Constabulary Force. The police in a release said that the threatening phone call was captured on video and has been widely circulated via social media. In the video, a male could be heard demanding the release of a prisoner as well as demanding $2 million in cash. Now, the individual is said to have allegedly used the phone of his mother to make the phone call to the police and issued these threats. Now, how can you do such a thing as this? You know, with the advancement in technology, the police are able to track certain types of devices, and this individual just got his mother involved now in a serious situation with the law. But the police are intensifying the investigation in order to ascertain whether these threats were authentic. But so far, the police is basically stating that they believe that this was just some false threat being issued against the Jamaica Constabulary Force. Whether charges will be laid against this individual, it's still unclear, but the police are still carrying out their investigation. So sources reported that the phone was used was the mother phone I was stated, and the police are reminding members of the public that these actions or any similar action towards the Jamaica Constabulary Force, they would utilize their resources that could be channeled towards citizen safety. In addition, these actions have serious implications as well, and persons can be charged if they make these threats at the Jamaica Constabulary Force. Persons are also being reminded to be selective with what they choose to share on social media as well. Investigators continues into the matter as well. So the police are actually trying to ascertain whether this was an authentic threat that was being issued. But as I can say, right now, this just doesn't look good for this 17-year-old youth. Whether or not this was actually a serious threat or he was just messing about, it just goes to show that certain things you can't do in this time and age right now, because we're living in a time where crime and violence is rapidly escalating out of control. And if you try to make threats such as these, the police can't take this very slightly based on what is going on in our country with the relation to crime and violence. So the police have to act, especially when these threats are being issued against the life of them. And they acted very swiftly and has so far arrested a 17-year-old in relation to the matter, and the mother as well has also been taken into custody. Now, this incident would have led police to believe that this would have been someone in the Montego Bay area. However, in fact, the call was made from Manchester, and it just goes to show you how the police capabilities are up in this current time. So you can't take certain things such as these for granted. Whether or not this individual will be charged by the police, we are not sure as yet, but they are still just carrying out the investigation in order to see whether or not charges will be laid against this individual, considering the fact that he is still a juvenile, not an adult. He's under the age of 18. So the police will just continue to probe this matter, and once more information becomes available to us, we'll just try to update you, the public, with the latest in relation to this. But this doesn't look good on his part, and these threats that were being issued sound so real at one point in time. But the fact that the police said that they did not have anyone in custody with the name that was given, it is also sure that might be this was just a prank threat being issued against the Jamaica Constabulary Force. But you can't play with the police in such a way. The police is an authoritative body, and certain threats or certain pranks, you can't play with them in such a way, because they're going to take it serious and they're going to act up on the information that you've provided. And once that information is provided, they're going to investigate. And once that investigation is done, they're going to make the necessary arrangement in order to arrest or search for the person or persons responsible for carrying out such act. But we'll continue to track this story and provide you with more information to come on this. This has been Links 007 TV. Let's talk. Peace out and bless, and much respect goes out to you, the viewers, for always supporting the movement of Links 007 TV.